Studio J in Atlanta, where we get set for Game 2 of our Thursday night double dip. Kyle Kuzma.
Boy, a star right there, Chuck. He a star.
And the Lakers.
You don't know that yet, Jack.
I know it.
On his way. On his way, Chuckster.
I can see it, Chuck.
Well, that's a star right there.
Yes, I agree.
To take on Russell
Big
Westbrook.
star.
Ernie, I got a great question
And the
for you.
Thunder.
For Ernie?
You have a great question.
How do you know it's great?
Because Ernie asked a question earlier.
Okay.
And so now you
Just
have a
gonna
great
repeat it?
question.
I'm going to repeat Ernie's question.
Oh,
All right.
It's Ernie's great question. Okay.
So, Ernie, you asked us earlier,
Yes.
you said the Indiana Pacers got the second or third best record in,
Number 3 in the East coming in.
and you said, why don't people consider them contenders?
Why isn't anybody talking about him?
Because you just saw why right there tonight. Because they can't beat Boston, they can't beat Milwaukee, and they can't beat Philly, they can't beat Toronto. Like Kenny said, they're a nice collection of players, but they can't beat. This is just my person.
They're 1-1 with Boston. They're 1-2 now with Philly.
I'm talking in a 7-game series.
Okay, all right.
They can't beat them top 4 teams.
Well, yeah, and you know, the biggest thing that, you know, I thought is just as great as Victor Oladipo. He's an NBA All-Star. But against those 4 teams, he's the second best player on the floor, you know, in 7 games. He will have nights where he could be the best player on the floor. But, you know, Embiid, Giannis, and Kawhi are top 3 players. They're the top 3 out of maybe 5 in basketball. They're one of the top 5 guys in basketball. So 3 of the top 5 guys in basketball are in the Eastern Conference. That's the only difference.
And I think Oladipo, you know, he is played like an all-star at times, but I think he has more 6 for 20s than he has miraculous games. I think if he can step it up just a little more on a consistent basis, then maybe they have a shot.
And I don't think that's enough. And Underdog just told me a stat. They're only 9-9 against teams above 500 in the NBA.
Right. Against Boston and Philly and Milwaukee.
And Toronto.
And Toronto, they are 3-6 now with this loss to Philadelphia.
So just to answer your question, Ernest.
All right. Yeah, I asked you a question and you asked me a question, and here are the highlights.
Great young player, though.
Saw Reggie Miller with
Man up.
There go my man Sergi.
He was there when you was there?
Yeah.
You just know anybody who rubbing somebody's back.
No, he gives me massages during the summer.
I know he does. You in the steam rooms.
with a low-kai bracelet.
He don't get a bracelet, though.
Again, Embiid working on that lower back, which we thought it might keep him out of the game, but he did play.
He's a little dramatic, too, so we never know what's
22,
happening.
13, and 8 on the night.
Way to play through it, big dog.
Yeah, he said he's a warrior. I know that because he told me.
He didn't tell you. He told Roz Gold on Woody.
You know, I'm a warrior. I'm here for my team.
Oh, that's what he said?
That dude is hilarious.
Warriors come out to play.
You can't tell people you're a warrior.
People got to tell you that.
Yeah. And you can't tell people you're a leader.
Oh,
Okay.
damn.
Oh, now his head might hurt.
Man up, man up.
So it's a 67-59 Philadelphia lead, and there's Embiid going to work.
Back look all right there, I'm kidding.
Because he's a warrior.
Is
Is he a Golden State Warrior?
Thaddeus Young knocks down the 3, so they're trying to get back in it, down 6.
Oh, good move, Jimmy.
Oh.
Butler there, and then
I really hope
Embiid.
I really hope the Sixers get themselves together, man.
They're getting it together.
Yeah, but I'm saying
Look at that. Ah.
They got 8 out of their last 11 games.
Well, they should though. They should they're in the conversation the best team in the East, man.
Oh.
Yeah, no question. It's starting to show.
All they got to do is keep playing and stop worrying about who's doing what.
That's exactly right, Shaq.
Just play. It's everybody's team. Oh, give me that.
What is nice pass?
Just got to get it up sometime, Tariq.
Sabonis there and Tyreek Evans there. The 10-0
Give it up.
run.
Come on, pass the ball.
Yeah, he found
Pass it.
it.
That ball should have
Scala.
been to the top of the key. Thank you.
I would agree.
And the Philadelphia 76ers, as they begin this 12-game stretch against teams with winning records. And step 1, pretty easy, 120-96. That's an impressive win on the road at the Fieldhouse over the.
The Raptors might have. They're one of the deepest teams.
Without question.
They're unbelievable.
So that game last night, 117-108. The Celtics beat the Raptors. Kyrie Irving had 18 assists in that game for Boston. And then everybody's talking about what he had to say after the game, and when he talked about having called LeBron James to apologize for being like that, one of those young players
that he's playing with now, basically.
So what did you think when you heard that revelation from?
I didn't like it at all.
From Kyrie.
I didn't like it at all. Number one, it would seem like he was saying we're losing because of these guys. They're young. They don't know how to win. They made it to the Eastern Conference Finals without him last year. Ernie, you don't have to tell people you're a leader. Just be a leader. That kid played great last night. The assists were important. That's one of the few games I've seen where he really made a conscious effort to make everybody around him better. But this notion where this thing like, I call LeBron because he taught me how to be a leader. Well, then be a leader. You don't have to tell us you're a leader. I did not like it at all because what he said to me, and I get through the BS, Ernie. Hey, we're losing because these young guys in the locker room. And I didn't like it at all.
Whenever you start a press conference off with these guys, sort of like you're alienating yourself. It's like you're telling the younger guys, I'm better than you. I've been to the finals. You don't know what you're talking about. I thought by him sitting on the bench last year, watching how the young guys play, he should use that to his advantage, right, Kenny?
Yeah, I agree. I think
you got to come in and you got to keep these guys involved. It'll make your game easier. Why, try to dribble and score all the points when you got a youngster on a wing that's ready to run and, break his neck for you? You got to use them to make yourself better.
Well, I would hope that when he did call LeBron, LeBron said, well, don't tell anyone about this conversation.
Thank you.
Because, yeah, it might be a conversation you need to talk about with somebody who's done it, but I don't think it was a public conversation.
And that's why they always say, sorry to cut, that's why they always say, be careful what you ask for.
Yeah.
You wanted to be the man, now you're the man.
Yeah, and because what it does, I've been the other. In college I was the guy. In pros I was the other. So I understand what that feels like. And being the other, I think I said this earlier, I never had to, when the guy told me he was the man, he wasn't the man to me. Like, we will anoint you, we will exalt you, we will put you on our shoulders to let you know we need you. But when you tell me to pick you up and put you, I'm not doing that. And I think overall what Kyrie will learn, and probably is in the process of learning now, is that being the best scorer on the team doesn't make you the leader. Being the best rebounder on the team doesn't make you the leader, or being the best assist guy. It's an overall conjunction of walking on, like, even with Akeem Olajuwon was never late for the bus. Never. Forget it. It wasn't something he walked around and say, I'm never late. But you walk on the bus, you'd see Akeem. He'd be there. After practice, playing one-on-one. You just see things that happens, and you start to go, this guy not only is doing what everyone else is doing and more, but then when the game comes, he produces more. So all of a sudden, he becomes a leader. Kyrie is in the process of being a leader.
But Shaq
that is something, a conversation that should not have happened.
It should not have been made.
Do you not think this was in part, when you look at it, saying that this guy is growing up and this guy is maturing a little bit more now, and he's
because like Shaq
admitting where he was wrong?
He says, no. Because like Shaq said, he says, when I call LeBron, I said, I want to apologize because I used to be a young guy like these young guys, and I think I wanted everything handed to me. So he threw the guys under the bus.
So he's saying that they wanted handed to them.
Yeah. He says, dude, we made it to the conference finals without you. Yeah. Your job is to get us past the conference finals. We were in game 7 in the finals last year.
5 minutes left in the game.
Yes,
we could have won.
Yes, and you are our highest paid player. You are a quote-unquote superstar. If you won the championship before, and your thing is, well, the reason we're not winning now because these guys are too young. They don't know how to win. Boy, are you kidding me?
Boy, what you would have did to him?
I whooped his ass. Yo, man, you can't be calling me out like that.
Yeah, I think he's learning the process.
Down.
Come on, man.
Because he's a great,
young
player, learning the process. But he didn't have to give us that conversation to the media. He didn't have to give that conversation.
Lakers and Oklahoma City Thunder.
Hey, listen, our show sucked because of you, Ernie.
Coming your way moments from now.
Our show sucked because of Ernie Johnson, America.
Minutes in the books. One of my favorite places in the NBA, the Field House in Indianapolis. Great place to watch a ball game and Jimmy Butler.
Why don't you move to Indiana if you like it that much?
I'm just saying it's a great arena.
It is.
It is. It's a shrine. It's a shrine to the game of
Ernie.
basketball. It is a shrine
You got to live in Indiana, though.
to the game of basketball. I'm just saying. The shrine to the game of basketball. Welcome, everybody. American Express Halftime Report. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith, Charles Barkley. We didn't know for sure if Joel Embiid was going to play, bothered by a bad back, but he's been out there. What are you doing?
I'm putting on some cologne.
You putting on some what?
Cologne.
Let me just say this about the Philadelphia 76ers. They've got to be the stupidest organization in the history of sports.
Why?
You got a franchise player who's got a bad back, who's injury prone, and you got him out. He can barely walk, and you got him out there playing in a regular season game. You have to be the stupidest organization.
They sat him out for a year.
Dude, he's hurt.
I'm just saying, but
Man
they
up,
sat
he
him
ain't
out.
hurt.
No, dude.
You walk on that court, you play. I don't want to hear that.
The guy's
Man up.
left. No, listen.
They can't be stupid. They sat him out for a year.
No, that was 2 years ago. He's played the last couple of years.
Chuck.
But I'm saying,
Chuck.
why would you gave the guy $150 million. He's got a bad back. He's clearly laboring. Why would you play him? Kenny, when you're hurt.
Does he have a mouth, Chuck? Does he have a mouth?
No, sometimes coaches and owners have to protect you from your own stupidity. There was many times I played.
I disagree with that.
Well, we can disagree. There's many times I played in a basketball game, Ernie, and I shouldn't have played.
Yeah, I agree with that. I do agree with that.
Yeah, sometimes
That's
you
why
have
I walk
like
I do.
And first of all, anybody watching the game can see the guys laboring.
Yeah. I mean, I do agree with the fact that you can never ask a player who worked their salt.
Well, don't play them.
Should you play? Because they always go, well, 50% of me is better than blah, blah, blah. Yeah, you think that way. Even role players or whatever.
Listen,
others.
if he's hurt, he shouldn't play.
However,
That's all I'm saying.
I wouldn't call them. I would say that they've been
fault.
very protective of this guy.
But this is a difference. This is a new injury. He's clearly laboring.
So he might not come out the second half, but
but why put him out there anyway? You don't take no chance with your franchise guy in the middle of the season.
Oh, no, you
listen.
You can't be soft either.
Yeah, you can't be soft.
Listen, the
You
guy
can't just take a chance.
The guy's hurt. You can
All
see
right,
him
well,
out there.
now- all right, now we
I
see
watched
it,
the
now you're
first half.
gone.
The guy's hurt.
Now you're gone, but you're not. I'm not going to have you to the point where you're soft enough to say that we can't fight through being hurt or being injured.
He is one of the American Express teammates for Philadelphia as we look at the scoring breakdown in the first half. Jimmy Butler with 13, Embiid had 9, also had 4 rebounds and 5 assists. He went 4 for 11 from the floor, and Ben Simmons is 0 for 3 from the floor. Does have 4 assists, 5 boards. And let's shift.
Ben Simmons doesn't have to score to be a good player. Like that, there's a difference. There's certain guys.
Don't you think he needs to improve his shot?
No. Well, I think he could. I think he could score.
Be a better.
I'm not saying he doesn't have to. I'm not saying he doesn't need to. You're right. He could. But what makes Ben Simmons great to me is that he creates a pace for the Philadelphia 76ers that everyone can play comfortable by. He does the same things that Jason Kidd did. He does the same thing that Steve Nash, the same thing that Steph Curry does in Golden State. When they're in their game, they play at a pace that no matter what you do, they're going to play that way.
However,
that is his strength and his superpower.
However, come playoff time, that pace is going to slow down, and he's going to have to hit shots and score points.
And that's what happened to him against the Celtics.
Boston, yeah.
And Kenny, I'm going to agree with you and disagree.
Okay.
He can be a good player, not being able to shoot. He can't be a great player.
Okay.
Like, he can be a good player, but he cannot be a great player until he learns how to shoot. Because Shaq is 100% correct. Once you play against the elite defensive team, like he did against the Celtics, they're going to make him score.
Let's go to Jimmy Butler while we have time. What you saw in the first half?
What's he complaining about?
Well, no, I could.
The check didn't have pictures of him.
I can understand why a guy like Jimmy Butler complains, because he's a very talented guy, and he's probably just saying to the coaching staff, "Hey, I want you to use my talents." However, me and Chuck played with a guy named Cedric Ceballos that can give you 30, 40 anytime. He never complained. This is what he did. You just move without the basketball, and then when you get the basketball, you produce. So I don't know, his plays or whether or not called, but when you get the ball, if you got a high percentage shot, take it. I like how you play. I like the energy you play with. But don't complain about shots. Just move and play basketball. Cedric Ceballos, I played him for 3 years. Never, ever complain about plays. And at nights, he'll give you 30, 40, and 50. Am I right, Chuck?
And let me tell you something. I love Cedric Ceballos. And one thing Jimmy Butler has to understand, when I was a great player in Philadelphia, we sucked. And I had to score every single basket every night. It was awful. And we didn't win. Jimmy Butler is a really terrific player, but he's never won or been on a really good team. When you play with better players, other players are gonna get the ball. You get, like when I told you, Dan Marlin and Kevin Johnson, when I got those guys, it was like I had went to heaven, which I'm never going, number one.
Well, they got you, actually.
Yeah.
Because they were already there.
You know that for a fact.
Oh, it's going to be hot where I'm going, Ernie. It's going to be hot. And you know what I'm going to do some mornings? I'm going to go over to Shaq's house and wait.
You're right, Chuck.
But Jimmy has to understand, Ernie, and the Celtics are going through this right now. You get less shots when you play with better players. When you're on a bad team, you get all the shots because you're the one who sucked the least.
You might want to invest in some.
Just in case. You might need this later, yes.
Or some asbestos. Maybe you can invest in that.
You gonna come to my house, Chuck?
Hey, Shaq, get up. Let's go play golf.
Welcome to the American Express Halftime Report. American Express, the official card of the NBA.